Thank you for the one guy in the room.
You need to
Each one of you aside, where I'm going to go with this is that, you know, enrolling your people I think is important, right? In having a say. You didn't get it? That's our bad for not communicating. You're not on our list. Something's going on. Unbelievable. Enrolling your folks and listening to them and letting them be heard. Again, you're not going to make everything that was said in that response. We're not going to do everything that everyone wants us to do. It's just impossible, right? But I love the idea of enrolling your people, and what I took from the whole, what should we keep doing? What do we need to start doing? And then the whole, what do we need to stop, right? So, and then again, how we can support that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to do more of.
Awesome. Video, what else? What are some other things that, in the way you're leading right now? Did you learn anything about the way you're acknowledging people? Establish a hook. Yeah. I mean, you're not that cool, so you need to write something cool. Sorry. I mean,
What do you guys expect of your people? It's another one I have, like for our staff. I think that it hasn't been crystal clear what we expect, the type of people we expect and we want them to be. I mean, integrity, conduct yourselves down to what you wear, how do you make you feel? How do you guys feel when you walk into this office? You know what I mean?
Like dress.
My
God.
Pressure.
I'm kidding,
You know
man.
what I
I love it, man.
But it starts with Andrea and every other person you guys come in contact with, right? I mean, all these things are important, but I don't want to, this isn't
oh my God, I love it. We have an action taker.
I got a page of notes, I'm sure.
Jenny Rohr McCall. Was that her sitting in the corner?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Thanks for nothing.
No, sir.
You would rush aside that.
She sent me a video. It's an action taker, man. Yeah. I knew when she was asking too. So, don't let yourself sit here. I mean, everything right now, this is being pretty brutal. Everything that you're attached to that you really want to have happen in your personal life, whether it's more vacation or whether it's a challenge that you're going through that requires or would, has to do with money and being more successful, it's attached to video, man. And the next one, though, too, is in your people. Okay? So acknowledgement, video. Did you get some framework on how to be? You guys got the thing on how important the framework of your video is? Okay? So let's go into, you guys want to go into agent productivity or recruiting? And agent productivity / training is really where I want to go in that space. Which would you like to do, recruiting or agent productivity? Recruiting. I heard productivity.
I think we got to have agents before we can recruit.
Recruiting?
Let's go forward.
Okay, recruiting. So, all right. So who wants, raise your hands. I mean, like, not just, hey, it sounds cool. But listen, between now and the next 90 to 120 days, it's important that you recruit agents to your team. Raise your hand. Good. So who wants to play? You'll play? Good. So now again, this is so we can grow. Okay, this isn't to make you look bad, and because if you can't play, I'm going to tell you something. If you can't play here, this is the toughest place to play in front of your peers, man. So play in front of your peers. So why? So let's go for it. Go first. It's fair game. Ready? Why should I join your team? This is the interactive part. So.
I thought we had a role player over here.
No, let's let him. Why should I join your team? I don't care. Whatever. I'm just sitting here. Whoever. Why should I join your team? No, you guys don't want to get tattooed. You're
Some of the
afraid
most
of
elite teams on the planet.
No, Jeremy. So let me give you a thing, and that's why you just.
Millions of dollars in production in this room.
Why should I join your team?
We provide solid leads that you can convert.
So do they.
What are you looking for?
Conversion rates 24%.
What's that mean?
Industry's dialing now. One of my agents picks up the phone and dials for dollars. They're handing it out warm leads.
So one of your agents, meaning an ISA, is doing it for you and handing them to me, or are you in a production-based team where I have to come in and I'm expected to, I'm a little confused, I'm expected to generate my own leads.
So we run two ways. I expect for you to generate your own business, but we also delegate our own leads to you.
Okay. All right, how many leads am I going to get?
If you can close a lot.
What's my split?
Your split depends on the source of the.
We're in the same space.
No, what's my split?
60-40.
60-40? I get 60?
You get 60.
Wow, okay. Yeah, well, I can get 70% somewhere else, even 80.
Fantastic.
We
Good
always
luck.
start by asking what they've failed us before, like why they weren't successful.
And I appreciate you guys playing. I mean, I'm not trying to, this is a, Russell, go ahead.
I was going to change that narrative a little, Jonathan.
Oh, okay.
When you finish the thought, I'll play along.
Oh, so here's where, and thank you. Raise your hand if you feel you're really good at articulating your value proposition and your results are showing that based on the agents that continue to join your team. You are?
We closed 173 million as of July, end of July.
Not closed transactions.
Okay. I think
Recruiting.
we had good people that we recruited that closed those transactions.
By the way, congratulations on that number. It's very respectful. So how many people have you recruited in the last 12 months?
Locally, 8. 8 or 10.
And how many have you either let go of or terminated
I've had 3 people leave.
3 people
last
leave.
12 months.
in the last 3 months?
12.
12 people leave.
No, 3 people in the last 12 months.
3 people in the last 12 months. Okay. So about a 25% attrition rate, 25%. Okay. All right. How do you feel about the people you have right now? Good sticking?
They're good.
Uh,
They could be better.
yeah, sure. So here's what and how long have you had your team?
I've been building the team for the last 3 years. The current people that are on there, the longest that I've got is probably close to 3 years old.
Yeah, so so watch the predicting business. He's about ready to go to about a 95 to 99 or 100% because he's probably discovered who fits well with him, right? Because when you get into that attrition rate where at first, is anyone here, let's do the be fuck, I get him and I got to get rid of him. I get him, anyone stuck? Anyone having that go on?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Yeah, but you're starting to discover, so you see the difference in his attrition rate, right? Okay, and that's what happens, all right? And part of it is what you say to them, okay? So write down on a piece of paper your single most greatest value proposition of why someone would join you. It's quite the exercise, isn't it? The single most greatest reason why someone would join you. And once someone's written it down, you can share. If someone's done, pop it out there. Say again? Solid mentoring. Okay, what else? Never dial for a lead. Never dial for a lead. Okay, what else?
We put support.
Support. Okay. What else? Brand. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want to support you guys in doing this, okay, because we don't have a whole day to go through it. So whatever you wrote down, make sure you participated, okay? No matter what you wrote down, I want you to write underneath it, so what? And that's how you write copy headlines. And that's how you write email subject lines, okay? And that's how you go layers deep, right? Okay? Is there anyone in the room that's recruiting only new people to their team? Okay, so a mix. You're only brand new agents? Okay, good. And everyone else, raise your hand if you're going after experienced agents. You want experienced ones, okay? Raise your hand if recruiting experienced agents is easy. All right, we have no liars in the room. Good. Okay, yeah, it's not. So I want to help you, okay? So you need to write these numbers down so it's framed and you're going to really start having a wake-up call, all right? Because most of you want experienced agent. It takes 14 contacts on average in some way, shape, or form before an experienced agent will even make a move. Now I'm really going to enlighten you. What's your guys' average sale price here in the Valley? 400? Am I safe saying 400?
No, it's way less. It's about 250.
Okay. So let me ask a question this way. Would it be fair to say that the average commission's 4,500 or 5 grand? Can I say 5 grand?
5 grand for easy math.
You guys, watch this. Ready? You guys watch. Right? Watch. Just pretend he's not looking.
You're always looking at me though. It's the wrong way.
Dude, I like you, man. I look at you because I like you. You're not consistent, but that's okay. You know why I said that, because I know you're going to go be consistent now.
No, red. I went from brown to red right now.
Yeah.
Happened rare.
That's right. Oh, you went from... Okay. I'm going to wake you up right now. Okay? How many bad leads, people who bought from a friend or a family member, how many follow-up calls, how many open houses does it take, how much money does it take to get one transaction to make 5 grand? A lot of work, right or wrong. A lot of money, right or wrong. When you look at the funnel, you know, we all seen the funnel, right? For 5 freaking grand. So, someone share, is there anyone here that has a team member they've when I say made, after you paid their commission, not where you paid your bills, but I'm talking about the after commission split has made $50,000 off an agent on their team in a year? Raise your hand. Anyone? Yeah, okay, good. And so then watch, let's say this, I'm going to go conservative across the board, and this is surveying. I'm going to go to about a 3.2 year lasting time frame. Life of, they don't die, they just, you know. Okay. Number one, if you're running a team, you should be having people at 50K. If your people aren't bringing 50K in retained company dollar, then you need to change some things. You just do, period. And it's not because, yeah, but John, you're comparing. It's, listen, I've got teams that do 100 million. I got teams that do 200 million. You know what I mean? All walks. You better be having 50 grand in retained company dollar coming from your people. Okay? At least a few of them. There's the lifetime value. Now watch closely. That's the lifetime value. Are you guys tracking with me? That's the lifetime value of one recruit, right? You guys with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. But one real estate transaction is 5 grand. Raise your hand if you are, as a leader. I'm going to change. This is another one where you could walk out the room naked, running around crazy, going, oh my God, I'm going to be a bajillionaire because I just woke up. Don't do it though. Raise your hand if you're putting the same effort on a daily basis to prospecting, presenting, following up, nurturing, and converting just at an equal level with someone that'll make 150 grand as you are at someone that does 5 grand. In other words, you're putting the same effort in just equal on something that, by the way, is 30 times revenue value. You're doing the equal amount of effort going after this person on a daily basis in your business? No. Did you just have a wake-up call? I mean, I hit my head hard like because I want you to remember the moment. It's a joke. And you guys get to change that. We think because, really, listen, they're a freaking lead. You've got to prospect. You've got to demonstrate value to them. You've got to nurture them. You need to drip email them. You need to send them videos, okay? You need to build trust with them. It's freaking easy. I figured this out back in 95 when I said, holy shit, this is the same as going after listings. I prospect, okay? I verbalize and demonstrate my value proposition to the seller. The seller measures whether I'm worth it or not. The seller says no, and then I get to look at my presentation, look at what I did, did or didn't do right, okay? And it's a numbers game, so I need to play the numbers game. And then what happened is, then I was a grinder. I don't want to be a grinder. You know what I mean? I grew in my business. I've been in this business 30 years. And then I went, shit, there's got to be a better way. And I was sitting in the back of the room at the ferry events. I'm old. Roger Butcher, Joe Stump, all these guys, okay? I go, holy shit, they're the best recruiter on the planet. I've got hundreds of agents in our company, thousands that come and bitch and moan about the split. Oh, I want more. You know, and this and that. But yet they'll go walk in a training room and give that guy more. And what's that guy doing? That guy is getting them in the room for free, training them, giving them some heroin, knows that they won't go take action, and puts them right in the little system. Hey, Steve, you're at the seminar, and I know you did everything we taught you that you were all excited about the day of the seminar, right? No. Oh, Steve, maybe you need a coach. Tom Ferry had me speak at a breakout backstage for his top teams last year at Summit. Okay. Now, Tom Ferry's got a big order. He had me come out to Philadelphia last October too, his Team Plus thing, and I did a presentation there. But at Summit, there's 5,000-6,000 people a year ago. Okay. And so to get me in, it's not like, and I'm supposed to go backstage and stuff like that. It's like, you know, hey, you just go hustling through. You got to go in the system. And I just knew it was going to happen. You go in the system, you get your little ticket, go back, I speak so I can get back there. And I waited. Wonder how many days after the event's going to take for that follow-up call. John, did you take the action you learned at the event? It was 48 hours. Hey, this is Coach Sally with Tom Ferry. Hey, how are you, Coach Sally? I'm great. Hey, how'd you like the event? It was amazing. And I says, and what you're doing is you're checking in and you're just going to get me into coaching because I'm a human being that left the seminar excited and didn't do shit. She died laughing. I said, I spoke for Tom backstage. So I had the epiphany. It's funny, Tom and I talk about this. This is Tom, this is you and your dad and all you guys trained me on recruiting. I said, we were killing it, but I was making 100 contacts a day. I knew I had to hit numbers. I was a freaking prospector. I door knocked in rain gear in Seattle, Washington with an umbrella. 100 to 200 doors a day, okay? I'm a savage, okay? But then I said, there's got to be a better way. And I said, holy shit, these guys got the recruiting game nailed. Allow people to have an experience of me, see the value, pull back away, okay? Know that they don't take action, and check in, hey, how you doing on those things that we taught you and shared with you? Oh, I haven't done them. Okay, hey, so what action steps do you think you should take? This, awesome, I'll check back with you. And then they go away. In the meantime, I send a business building tip about 2 days later. Hey, just checking in. Hope you, not a, hey, our agent just did this. Hey, we got this, we got that. It's bullshit. Jump in a barrel of monkeys of an incompetent conversation that all the other rookie leaders are having. It's so easy, you guys. But no one's trained us otherwise, right? We've been trained feature dump. You know, I don't know about you guys. Does anyone here like being vomited on? No, it's not cool. I mean, that's what they do. All right, you ready? Here's what we do. Wow. You're just like everyone else. I'm excited. Holy shit, you mean you're telling me you're great? I'm shocked. People don't believe what they're told. They believe what they experience. Okay? Your job is to create an experience, and write this down in recruiting. Your job is to create an experience of what it's going to be like when they join, before they join. Watch this. So I shared with you it takes 14 contacts on average before an experienced agent makes a move, right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. How much sense would it make for me if they don't volunteer forward that, hey, I like it, I want to join you? How much sense would it make for me to try and convert them, if I know the numbers, try and convert them to join on the first interview, an experienced agent? Would that be smart or dumb? I'm fighting human nature. So now watch this, because so I get inquiries every day from teams, broker owner managers. John, you know, I can't believe it. So agents are assholes. Really? How come? I do the interview. It was great. Things were going good. And they don't return my phone call. They don't return my text. I'm like, yeah, okay. Let me ask you this. So how many interviews did you have with them? Oh, it was the first one. Great. So you tried to convert them, didn't you? Well, yeah, of course. There's your problem, ding dong. There's your problem. It's an experienced agent. Who do you know in business that has listings and some escrows and some signage and some marketing that's experienced is going to just go, oh my God, in 1 hour, close the door in their business here and open it somewhere else? Oh. But we get in that sales trap. So here's your job. I'm going to help you with the numbers. Take 14 contacts on average before an experienced agent makes a move in some way, shape, or form. That's why, watch this. Here's how it goes. I'm going to send you a piece of mail. 3 tips to doing a market analysis that gets the listing priced right. By the way, that email, because I write copy, is getting about a 76% email open rate to agents. And you're like, what? That's rookie. Yeah, you talk too high over your people. And then the next one that's about an 80% email open rate, how to get more people to show up at your open house. Here are the 3 tips of what to do. These are recruiting ones. I launch 1 million emails per month from my email servers. I've launched 100 million emails. I know how agents behave on the receiving end recruiting better than anyone on the planet. And that's true. Because they're from my email servers. There's people in here that have used it. Okay? So what we do though is you've got to send something of value to them before or hope they've seen your videos. You've got to write this down. You got to make deposits in the business relationship equity account. You're going to a bank account where you've made no withdrawals and you think money's going to come out, or where you've made no deposits and you think you can just pull money out of it. You're going to cold traffic. It's kind of like what we talk about. Why am I going to, see, watch this. These people here, no matter what. Now, are you guys seeing where the consumer and, that's this 95, are you seeing the crossover between the consumer and the agent? It's the same. It's exactly the same. See, the consumer that's here at 95%, they're cold traffic. Also, I want to warm them up. If I warm them up here with local business interviews that I do more than once a year.
He's Instagramming.
Yeah. Oh, snap, my bad. Hold on.
You're a good sport. That's why I was doing it, man. But are you guys seeing how this is? Are you guys seeing how this crosses over? Listen, all you do every single day is you wake up and enroll people. You enroll people to join your team. You enroll people to buy a house from you. You enroll people to sell from you. You enroll people to come to training. You enroll people to come to the sales meeting. You enroll people to, hit their speed of response on the leads you're giving them every day. But what we've got to do is we've got to move these people over, okay? So what you've got to do is this, is business building tips. Our training's great. Oh, wow, shocking you would tell me that. Hey, here's 3 tips on how to do this so you can that. It's really simple. Then what you do is this. Watch this. I want you to write these 2 down. This is what works in recruiting. So you see how I gave you the comparison on the seminar guys? They're making a deposit. They're playing the law of fair exchange thing. Because if you think everyone that went to Summit paid, you're wrong. They just want people in the room. And don't get me wrong, I'm not minimizing it. They want people in the room because what are they trying to do at the summit? No, at the end, what are they trying to get people to buy? Coaching. So I need you in the room to have the experience of the belonging, right? It's real easy when they funnel right out that door. It's a machine, okay? Tom's got an amazing business, okay? So that's the simplicity of it. Well, can you see how you can do that on your scale? Because the ding-dongs that are meeting with the people you're trying to recruit before and after are going, oh my God, have you seen our new brand? And this, and you'll get this split and that. Who gives a shit? Hey, listen, here's what I want to know. It'd be foolish. You guys, write this down, handle objections in advance. Invoke irrefutable laws. And I'm going to give the 2 to you that we invoke in recruiting. The law of reciprocity, the law of fair exchange. So I'm going to give you the easiest thing to do. You send a business building tip. Do you feel more comfortable calling that person now after you've sent them something of value? Didn't even ask them to join, but it was something that was really helpful. Do you psychologically? So I'm doing it for you, first of all. So you feel more comfortable, okay? But I'm playing a game with them. I'm entering the back of the mind. The human brain feels obligated to give you back something when you gave them something, and all I want back is an appointment. That's all I want. Your most valuable thing, though, too. So what I'm doing is I'm invoking the law of fair exchange, the law of reciprocity. I'm giving you something of value, and I'm making, here's what the call. I'm giving you a did you get call. The did you get. The did you get. Did you get the thing about the thing? Did you get? And here's what I want you to think about too when you're making these calls to people is this. I want you to center yourself, and I want you to pretend as if you're talking to one of your agents, not as you're talking to a recruit. Because remember, let's go back to the principles. Coach, train, lead the competitor's agents better than their current leader is, so that one of two things happen over time. Number one, they see value in you and want to join. Or number two, if something changes, you're their first choice. Right? Now watch this, 14 contacting. I sent them something in the mail. I made the phone call contact. I scheduled the interview. And I'll tell you, Jeff, right there in the back of the room, no one has ever touched his show-up ratio. And I've been doing this since 1995, including me. His show-up ratio is even better than mine. And I think I'm the king, but I'm just kidding. I'm one of those coaches that actually has a resume. You ever seen those coaches out there? Where's the real estate resume? They tell a good story. Jeff has about a 40. He plays around typically in about the 40% no-show ratio, roughly. I think you've been at 35 before, right? 1 out of 3. He crushes it. You want to know why? So here's the next step. So something of value goes out. He picks up the phone. Here's the other thing Jeff does really good too. And you need to write this down. Stay in the fucking box. People give up too early. Stay in the box. I mean, how many times are you told no sometimes on the phone? 2, 3? A lot. Stay in the box. I listen to recorded calls weekly of the ones that convert. They stayed in the box. But I mean, shouldn't you? And this is a minimum of what they should be worth to you. Versus look what you'll do for $5,000, and are you even doing an equal amount for something that's worth 30x? Is that really, whoa, is that kind of get a wake-up call for you right there? Holy shit. Okay? So I want you to center yourself as if you're talking to one of your agents. You've made a deposit, okay? You've invoked the law of fair exchange, the law of reciprocity, okay? You're going to handle objections in advance, okay? When they push back, I'm going to make you some promises. I'm not going to talk about my company, your company. I'm not going to try and recruit you. We're going to talk about the only thing that matters, you and your business. So we'll come back to the dialogue, okay, that's important. But I'm going to take you through the contacts. Mail, contact on the phone, video confirmation 24 hours before, the interview, a video text immediately when they walk out the door. I'm more than 1/3 of the way in my 14 contacts on average. And I've gone deep too because I'm using video, which creates deeper bonds. See what I'm doing there? Okay? So I'm going to make that call. Now, let me give you, did you get the thing about the thing? The next thing you want to pivot to is talk to them about business. What are you currently doing? If you sent something to them on open houses, are you currently focused on open houses? I want you to center yourself as if you're checking in and coaching one of your agents. Because that's what you're doing. Think of it this way, 2 rosters. You have your current agents and you have your future ones. And ask them those questions. Oh, I'm not doing open house. And here's another good question. What's an area in your business you see a great opportunity for growth you're not taking advantage of right now? What's an area in your business you see a great opportunity for growth you're not taking advantage of right now? So we're having that conversation, and I'm going to give you, here's the magic sauce, okay? And I discovered this in 1998 because it kept like, I don't have time, I'm busy, I don't have time. And I was a savage, man. I mean, I was just calling, I go, shit. And I said, they feel like it's blowing out half their day, so here's where I went. So You'll have the conversation. You've made that deposit. And I'm going to give you another dialogue to use in case you haven't mailed someone, that I would put an ISA on the phone tomorrow and you get appointments. I'll give you that one in a second, because there's one call you can make that's killing it right now for us. I mean, I'm constantly testing, okay? So what we're going to do is then we're going to pivot. And this is the discovery I had, and I pivoted. So you'll talk a little bit about this. What are you currently doing, and what's working for you, what's not working, what do you think you need to do different? Get ready. Watch my tone and pacing too. When would be a good time to sit down for 30 minutes, have a cup of coffee, and talk about your business? 30 minutes, cup of coffee, talk about your business. They feel like they can escape. They're not stuck. It's only 30 minutes. My conversions doubled. My interview scheduled to contact back in 1998 when I switched over to 30 minutes, cup of coffee, doubled. I discovered it. Okay? Put time on, oh, John, I don't have enough time. Let me tell you about the beauty of that 30-minute thing. Number one, you need to get right into being effective and impactful in the interview. You don't get time to bullshit, right? Number two, you're going to focus on one thing. Number three, when the 30 minutes come, Steve, I want to honor our time. I had said 30 minutes, and so our time's up. Unless you had more time. Oh, yeah, I got more time. Fish on, baby. And listen, and if they need to move, no, I don't have more time. Don't, oh, no, shit, it didn't work. No, that was the agreement. Don't get all butthurt. You guys, it's 150 freaking grand. It takes 14 contacts on average in some way, shape, or form. That means some will take 30 and some will be shorter. But you got to play the long game, right? I mean, the return is ridiculous. I mean, imagine this, you guys. I mean, you go out and recruit 20 people. Anyone want to do some math on 20 people times that much retained company dollar a year? You want to know what that means? It's called 1 million. 1 million retained company dollar. Here's what's going to happen. When you start getting there, it's going to start compounding because they're talking to more people. You're learning how to, manage people in groups instead of the one-on-one, because you got to start behaving. That's the other part too. As you grow, you got to behave not as you are, but you got to behave as you're going to be. That's the one thing that I do as I work with teams is, okay, where do you want to be? I want to be here. Where are you at right now? Okay, so in a year they want to be here. I'm trying to get them to behave like they're going to be in 6 months so that you don't implode. That's scaling, but that's a whole other subject. So you're going to, when you get into the call, you're going to pivot and I'm going to give you the objection trail right here. Every single time I can predict it. So you're going to get into the call. You've made the deposit. Did you get? And have some conversations if they're one of your agents. And then you're going to move into, wouldn't be a good time to sit down for 30 minutes, have a cup of coffee, talk about your business, right? Okay. Oh, I'm happy where I'm at. Now here's a fun one. And because you got to get funny with people. Well, I'm happy where you're at. Well, I know you're happy you're at, because if you weren't, you'd be working for me. And they do exactly what you just did. And humor works, by the way, if you didn't know. Okay, so be ready on that one every single time. Okay? Let me make you some promises. We're not going to talk about my company, not going to talk about your company. I'm not going to try and recruit you. We're going to talk about the only thing that matters, you and your business. Pivot back again, asking a second time. So is Thursday for 30 minutes a good time to have coffee and talk about your business, or is Friday? Pivot back. No, I'm not changing. Don't stop. It's kind of like the person that wants to, have a six-pack and go to the gym once a week and eat freaking donuts. That shit's not going to fly. Okay? If you want to give up on the first objection, fine, you can play here. And you can tell everyone you got a team because you have a couple people working there. And that's cool. Okay? But you got to be a savage and stay in there. We're not going to talk about my company, not going to talk about your company, not going to try and recruit you. But John, it's bait and switch. No, it's not bait and switch. Only if you compromise it in the first meeting and try and close them. It's not bait and switch. And why would you fight human nature that's shown us it takes 14 contacts? It's ridiculous. Because I'm a savage salesperson, I'm supposed to close. Well, good. Don't be a dumb savage salesperson, right? Okay? So, there, and you're going to pivot back. Cup of coffee, 30 minutes, I'm good. Now, we're in it again. Don't shoot your you-know-what early. Save this. Fuck. Sex ed, here we go. Don't shoot your fucking wad. I mean, Jesus. People get excited. They get so excited. That's why I say it, because they get so excited. And I go, let's role play it. And they go, hey, it's John. I'm trying to see if you're open-minded. I go, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to use that later. So watch this. You try and you try and try. So here's where we go. Here's where we pivot. Ready? So now watch this. When you start getting objections, you got to slow down and talk a little bit quieter so you pull people in and you calm them down because there's friction now. Let me ask you this. Are you open-minded about your business? Ta-da! Anyone know the percentages on yes on that one?
Yeah, they're very high. We're all open-minded.
Are you open? Notice tone and pacing. Are you open-minded about your business? Are you open-minded about your business? So now keep in mind, stay with me. We're 3 deep, right? I've been told no 3 times, right? Okay? They've given me the yes. I'm going back and restating the promises again. Awesome. Again, I want to make you the promises. We're not going to talk about, we got to keep restating. Here's what you're doing on the phone call. You're lowering sales skepticism. You're constantly lowering sales skepticism. Constantly. And so you've got to go back and restate it. So you'll start before you pivot to the close, to the coffee. On this one, when they say they're open, awesome, good. And I'm going to make you some promises. We're not going to talk about my company, your company, not going to try and recruit you. I've heard someone say the promises 5 times on a call. And you know what? We ended up landing a $7.5 million producer on a 70-30 split. Anyone want to do the math on that one? That's $60,000 a year to my client. Okay? So, guess what? We're not done. No, I'm not making a change. So here's your final one. I don't know. I mean, I always thought it made sense to sit down with the competition, see what they're doing. Should we sit down Friday or Saturday? I just need an audience. I can take you back in my, and I'm not going to pitch anything. I'll tell you about, I've got a mastermind where all these teams I've been telling you about is in Vegas. Go ahead and write it down. Actually, I'll do it right now. CheplakLeadershipLive.com. You can write that website down. All my big teams will be in a room along with the GM of the Vegas Knights. Any hockey fans? Yeah, the GM, George McPhee, will be in the room too. He's my keynote speaker. All of my top teams present for 2 days in Vegas. CheplakLeadershipLive.com. CheplakLeadershipLive.com. It's a 2-day mastermind. We'll only let 50 people in a room. A deal? September. It's right there. Yeah, September 27, 28. So yeah, like Justin Haver, all these guys I'm telling you about, they'll be in the room. Good, and their staff members too. So anyways, what got me to where are we going back? We're at the recruiting part, right?
Yep.
What's the competition doing? That was the last thing you said.
Okay. Oh yeah, right. So it's like, I don't know. Always made sense, you know. Now watch this. Here's the deal. Whether you get the appointment or not, here's what you want to do. Remember those business building video tips I was telling you to make, right? So I want you to think about recruiting like a banking system. Now, on that call, am I making a withdrawal or deposit? What am I doing?
Deposit. No, you're withdrawing. I know, withdrawal.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm making a withdrawal. Now, let me ask you this other question too, and this will be real educational for you and the consumer. What am I selling on that phone call? What am I selling? What am I selling? The benefit of the appointment. That's all I'm selling, the benefit of the appointment. I don't acknowledge people that have coached with me when they give answers.
I hadn't heard that one before.
You liar.
I was winging it like
No, you're good. Yeah, because you would have had benefit of the appointment.
Yeah, exactly. I was halfway there.
Think about it. I'm just selling the benefit of the appointment. What's the benefit? The benefit's going to be to interact with me and me to demonstrate and help you with your business, and you're going to leave, okay? I'm selling the benefit of the appointment. I've got to get you in there, okay? Because body language, remember, is 50% of the impact of, see how this is working, you guys? Can you see how this recruiting thing doesn't sound easy, does it? No, but the return's huge. So do you think your competition will stay consistent on it? That's the difference. This is the difference maker too. The difference maker, I mean, you're starting to see, oh, okay, I get what it is. It's this having people feel really good. And I'm not talking about, oh, grandma, here's the cookies, don't work too hard. But I'm talking about feeling good, feeling inspired, but feeling supported, right? Okay? You're here in this company, in this room, because you've looked around and you've looked at some of the folks that are here, like you, and you want to be a part of it, right? But when I can have that combination, okay, someone's going to challenge me, someone's going to acknowledge me, I want to be a part of that, right?
And that, I think, is the number one key. Sorry to chime in.
No, please,
When
Jeremy.
everyone's asking, I think if we were to ask everyone, what's your not your sales pitch, but what's your 10-second answer on why you're the best person to get the listing, everybody would have that answer for the most part, right? But we don't have it necessarily for the recruiting side. I don't even know where the hell I was going to go with that.
Well, I'm glad you. No, but because I think it's something it's trailing back
Where I was
there.
going to go is that the number one answer to me, why somebody joins a team, why somebody joins a brokerage, and then why they stay there on a team or a brokerage is for that culture, that energy. People wanted to say it was this or that or whatever it may be, but guys, people want to be a part of something, and each one of you guys, while everyone might be at different points in their businesses, right, has a different vibe, a different energy, a different value. Everyone probably wrote something different down on their paper, right? So that's part of people want to be a part of, hopefully, whatever you guys put down.
Yeah.
It's the number one reason, in my opinion.
It is. Now, here's where you got to be cautious, though. Watch this, though, you guys. But watch this. Remember, write this down. People come for what they want. They get what they need. Okay. Because if I led too much, if I speak too much about culture, what do I need to really probably talk to people about that they're going to want? That's the sexiest. What's the sexiest for an agent to hear about? How to sell a shit ton more real estate or get free leads from you. It's money, right? So you may have to go, you've got to fish with that a little bit, but you've got to be cautious when you get, not so much that it feels like bait and switch in the interview, okay? So, I want to go into again, there's more to that stuff. You guys want to go a little bit into the interview? Is that important to you? Do you want to go into the interview process so you can hire people or no? Yes. Holy shit. I mean, ready? Watch this, okay? That's 5,000. That's 150,000. Okay? Did you want it that or this?
I'm waiting, Josh, for you to go into the vision casting piece of it, and I think
Which would bring me back. What part?
the interview process. If we're going to go into the interview process.
So, yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna have time because I've got productivity, but you can bring it forward. Talk about it. I think, Russell, I think you're one of, as far as me knowing, because I'm catching myself. Here's what happens. Share what's happened with you in recruiting, because you've done, out of the gates, I don't know. First of all, here's what I know. George Lawton runs a great organization. These gentlemen are a part of it, and I'm not the magic guy that showed up. I think that what happens, it's the same with my coaches too, is, they're inside the jar, and I'm just on the outside reading the label and looking at the ingredients. That's what a coach is, okay? We ride along, and so they had already had a great trajectory going. We're out there talking to people and things, and so with that said, talk to how you've gone out and done the recruiting, and especially in that vision piece that you're talking about there.
Well, just, when we talk about why should you join my team, that's, your influence on me in the interview is the first thing I talk about. This isn't about me. It's not about me. It's not about feature dumping. It's not about our broker. It's about you. I say that every time. As cliche as this is, and as cliche as that sounds, it's about you. And where am I catching?
Story branding.
How can I help you? And I base my next question on their response. And then I demonstrate how we're going to help them.
Are you guys writing this down? See,
Here's what it's gonna look like the next time I
he just gave you outline too, because he didn't give you the next framework, the best script. Base your next question on their response. It's not about me. Ask them questions. Base the next
temptation is
question.
to continue to sell and look for validation instead of contribution, based on that.
What's that?
Telling's not selling.
Right, right. And so what's going to happen is you're going to come back, and why I want you to really get this, because you're programmed. I was too. We're programmed. I remember my first recruiting coach trainer, and you know what? Thank God for her. She's the one who inspired me to go, that's bullshit.
That's horrible.
There's a better way to do this. You know, I mean, I was able to recruit people out of sheer force and terror. I don't quit. Like I didn't quit alcohol for 20 years. I mean, I was a good drinker. But the flip side is when I quit, it's like me. I mean, I watch people that quit alcohol and they're just like, oh, can I make another day? And that's okay. I mean, we all have our struggles.
But it goes back to that connection piece, right? Dennis?
Yes.
If I could find where they're at and connect to that.
Meeting, here's what you said,
Then
meet them
catch
where
it.
they're at.
Bingo.
And he's doing discovery.
Just like a consumer, right? It's the same
pain point,
concept.
where they're
Meeting a
truly
consumer,
at.
right.
Well, and you look at
Create
too, you know, let's look at this too from your perspective also in productivity, is not everyone on that team is producing at the same level, but that team as a whole is kicking ass. And I haven't talked to George. I mean, George and I talked. I don't know. George reached out to me, Tom Ferry, because he thought it was. He wanted to sit and have coffee.
Another story.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. George will be right over. But here's what I would guarantee, and we haven't talked real recently in depth inside the organization, but I'll guarantee you this: they know that you've got A, B, C, D players, and you've got to meet A, B, C, D players where they're at instead of the everyone this. And that's what happens when you have the growth trajectory that they've had too. You got to meet people where they're at. So that's that sophistication. In the interview, so you're just sitting down. So there's two parts of it, because at first you're hearing about a different, this is one, now he's getting into, and he's going to pivot more into a conversion-based conversation, because you see part of it is, there's two things I want you to know with marketing and recruiting: content amplification and conversion. So, and so it goes back here like this. So on the 95.5, okay, this is a conversion-based conversation or marketing piece. Okay, so we call that conversion. It's got calls to action, right? This is content amplification. So when you're talking about going at the consumer, it is market snapshots. It is local community event video that's done this week. It is a grand opening of a business. That's content amplification. Now let's watch. So with the recruit, it's content amplification too. The content that the recruit wants where they're at, not in consideration. Help me sell another house today, even though I'm over there. Here's what I want you to think about. This is where the challenge, and this is where you bridge the gap in marketing. What keeps this person up at night is different than what keeps this person up at night. You get it? Okay? Holy shit, if I have to listen to those teenagers fight in that freaking bunk bed, I'm going to strangle both of them. We need a bigger house, right? This person's here is going, man, I wonder what's going on this weekend. You know, it's Oktoberfest, or, you know what I mean? Hey, it's football. You know, when do the local leagues open up for kids softball? Or you guys get it? Meet them where they're at. So let's talk about the recruit. This person here, you know what? I'm sick of the environment, man. People steal all my leads. They're assholes and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and I need to get out of there, or...
Market is terrible.
Yeah, the market's terrible.
No, I mean
Blame me.
Mark, not market.
Market. Oh, yeah, Mark's an right. I need to leave, right? You guys, right? So that's a different conversation, right? This person here is not leaving. Man, everyone else, I'm tired of hearing everyone else get Facebook leads that convert. I don't. You know, I'm tired of having everyone else has 1 million people at their open house and I don't. You guys see, you see what I'm doing there? They're two conversations. They're two conversations. And be intentional about them. I'd run two type of ads. What I really do, what we find that works really, really well, watch this on a budget. I'll show you real quickly on a budgeting what you need to do, okay? If it's me, and I'll tell you where we're getting the highest return, whether it's for recruiting or it's for the consumer. So I'm doing a Facebook video, and this is my budget. I'd say probably 50% is content application, video, content, no calls to action whatsoever, pure value. Not if you need any more information, nothing. So if this is for the consumer, it's community events. If it's for agents, how to do an open house. And then down here, I would say another 20 to 30% of my budget. Same thing, but I might use a subtle call to action. Hey, if you'd like to learn more, reach out. Or hey, if you'd like to see how we can help you with that, reach out. You guys see what I'm doing here? Like here, 50% of my budget is at all times at the same audience. Run traffic, run content application, run deposits at that same audience so you keep your bank account full. Remember the business relationship equity account? Remember? Yeah, I'm not overdrawn. And I'm also going to keep on doing here, but now I'm going to start doing some subtle calls to action. But I'm still in the 70 to 30% non-conversion based, non-calls to actions. Everyone tracking with me? Because remember, everyone wants to buy, no one wants to be sold, right? Okay? And then only about 30% of my budget, 20 to 30% of my budget is home search, home equity, free market analysis type thing. So that's how I'm playing with my budget. I mean, really this whole area here is deposits, 70 to 30%. 50% is just straight up, here's good stuff. Hope you really like it and use it. 20 to 30% of my budget in the social media environment, the new social rules of engagement, I'll do a subtle call to action. So if it's a business building tip for an agent, hey, if you'd like to see how you can, you like me to sit down and show you how you can do this in your business, let's meet or reach out. If I did a market snapshot to the consumer, I might do, hey, if you'd like to see an entire market snapshot or the entire market report, let me know. Then here, this is, hey, you want a CMA, you want to search for homes? Does that make sense, you guys? In your interview and choosing agents, here are the only two things you're really, really looking for. You're looking for grit, okay? You're looking for grit and personal responsibility. And let me explain those and give you the two questions to ask. Okay? Always ask past-based questions. Here's what you need to know. The only two things we can tell people accurately is something we don't like and something that's happened in the past. Proven. Those are the only two things we can tell people accurately. Something we don't like or something that's happened in the past. So if you want the truth, ask people about the past. Okay? So here's some questions to ask in the interview as you're going in. Russell's going into what Russell had shared is, what are some areas of your what's important to you? That coaching, just as if you're sitting with one of your agents, right? Now here's where I've really gone to on that. Okay, where do you see an area for opportunity for growth you're not taking advantage of? What are you currently doing? What's working? What's not working? What do you think you need to do differently? Because self-discovery is the number one way to persuade a human being. It's the number one way to get someone to make a choice, make a change, right? Self-discovery. What do you think you should? I'd sit in an interview and like Russell said too, base your next question on their response. Where's an area of opportunity for growth? Facebook ads. What are you doing that's currently working? This. What are you doing that's currently not working? That. What do you think you need to do different? This. Great. What do you want to recommit to? Boom. I leave the interview with them making a commitment to take some action. I'm going to follow up with them. Was there anything else I can help you with right now? No. Awesome. So I'll stay in touch with you.
I get super excited on all that kind of my opinions about it. Because you promise them you're not going to recruit them. And you give them so much value because you take them through everything they just discovered they need. They're either going to come to me when they get it, or they're going to stay where they are because they didn't, which they're going to get it, and then they're going to make
Yeah, and you guys correct me. I don't know.
You're gonna do better than they did when they're.
And here's the thing, and this isn't about me, but it's awesome because George is. What I like about George is he's a high producer, just a neat guy. I mean, he's just a neat, cool dude, no ego, and so it was a year ago, November, I think it was, because I was out in Austin, Texas, at my mastermind. I was at my high-level mastermind, and but I think a couple minutes before we had or a couple of weeks before we had the initial call, and so it was like November, and George says, "I'd like to have 6 or 7 by March or something like that." Wasn't that what it was?
Not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
2016.
16. And what was it? It was back in November. It's like I have 8 or 9 more by March
Justin
or something.
was telling him 100, but George said that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So okay. And I says, well, George, what are you going to do when that happens sooner than that? And then about 3 weeks later, George, oh shit. I go, what's wrong? He says, I think Russell's recruited like 8 people, man. And that's all George wanted till March. It works. It's right here in the room. There's some deeper places that I have gone the two because, and Jeremy and I talked about this today, is I think technology's made us lazy, right? It really has. And so here are the 2 indicators, though, coming back to what I'm looking for in an interview. You can, and I'm not saying don't do it. I never, and I was a savage, I never personality tested one person ever on my life. Ever. I'm not saying don't do it. Here are the 2 things I'm looking for. Victim language, anything that's victim language. Because if someone won't own something, just, stop wasting your time.
They'll just blame you for their lack of success down the road.
Yeah. Period. I mean, just don't get all excited. Oh, because here's what's going to happen too. I've done it. Believe me. See, I don't stand up here because I did it all right. I screwed up a lot. Okay, your ego gets in. Oh yeah, but they're good looking and people like them and this and that. I don't give a shit, man. Man, something goes wrong, they spin. Man, I'll take grit. I'm gonna tell you something. Hire 100% commitment. I'll take 100% commitment and 0 talent all day long over a talented badass. All day long. I'm talking about a freaking grease monkey who gets off work at Precision Tune with dirt under his nails halfway up and comes and makes calls all night. And watch him go on stage in a 1,200 agent company year 1 as the top producer and rookie of the year. I've seen it happen time and time again. So here are the important questions. Russell's moving him down that path of the coaching and vision casting, and then when you start, there's going to be a point though where they're going to give you the indicator. Hey, I'm interested, right? Okay, and so you're going to pivot, and then you get to start crafting the relationship. So here's some questions. What type of leadership have you responded really, really well to? What type of leader do you not respond well to? What's your experience been with accountability? Has it ever been something that's worked for you, or you really don't like it? Here's the kicker. How your agents are showing up today is based on the way that you hired them. If your agents are showing up in a way, you can always go back, and this is what good, and I love that hearing from these guys, is they're going, they know it. You can think you've got all your systems right, but then you watch how someone's behaving, you go, oh yeah, I didn't, there was a gap in our interview. And you'll constantly be doing that. Okay? How someone is showing up and performing today is the way that you hired them. Because you know what we do? We don't tell them everything. Not that you're lying, but we're selling. It's going to be great. Okay? No. Selling is about differentiation. Selling and marketing is about differentiation. The root of differentiation is different. Being different in the recruiting process is actually being very truthful and not selling. It'll shock the shit out of them. And you'll stand out. I mean, that's the thing. Don't fall into the trap. Okay? And so it goes like this. Let me ask you this. At what lengths are you willing to go to every single day to make sure that you have a productive real estate career? Do you know what I just set up for the rest of my life with that agent in the future if they have a non-productive time? Anyone aware of what I just did? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about every challenge that you have or could have if you don't have people now, okay, or that could happen. And I want you to create a question to ask in the interview that takes care of that. Because now I can go back. What's your name? Shandis. So Shandis is struggling right now and not doing well in business. We're just role playing, right?
He doesn't do personality profile, does he?
I'll tell you about two of my coaches are clairvoyant intuitives. I mean, I'm weird. I need a lot of weirdos. Oh shit, where was I going? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna sit down and process with her and say, you know, how's your business right now? It's going pretty good, this and that, and you know, are you doing everything on a daily basis? I know she's struggling. Are you doing everything on a daily basis to give you the best opportunity to win? No, not really. Can I take you back to that day? And what did you say? At what lengths? See, it's a principle-based interview. At what lengths are you going there? Now watch this. Stop telling, and we'll get into productivity, I'll do that here quickly. Stop telling people what to do. You get them to commit. Because if you tell people what to do, ownership's gone. And the only person that you can tell things to do are mostly all of you, because you're in that 1 percentile and we're the type that will perform. You know what I mean? We're the type that are going to perform. But you're in your position as you are as a top performer because you're different. The people you lead are not. Stop thinking they think like you. That's your other big mistake. Stop thinking your people think like you. That's the huge one. I mean, I'll have conversations, just argue and just go, I don't get it. Well, listen, dude, if they were like you wouldn't have your job. If everyone was like you, there's a reason for that. They don't think that way. You got to meet them where they're at. It's constantly meeting people where they're at, okay? So I'm looking for victim language, though. Where's accountability worked for you? Where has it not worked for you? What type of leader do you respond the best to? What type do you not respond to? Oh, I like the leader that leaves me alone. Oh, cool. So you like kind of have a little freedom. Tell me more about that. What else? See what I'm doing? And the leader that didn't work out for is a dick. Really? Yeah. I mean, once a week he was checking in to see how I was doing. Oh, tell me more about that. Yeah. How were your sales? Oh, well, you know, that company sucked. Perfect. Hook, line, sinker. Get the fuck out of here.
The competition is good for some.
So here are but there's those are the what type of leadership you responded well to? What type of leadership have you not responded well to? What's your experience been with accountability? How's it worked for you? How's it not worked for you? At what lengths are you willing to go to make your business thrive? At what lengths are you willing to go, and what do you expect from me? And what can I expect from you? It's really cool. It's a conversation. No one else is doing that because they're dog and ponying them. Wow, this is really a sophisticated conversation that he's having with me that talks about building a mature relationship. It's a pattern interrupt, which will cause me to then retain and pay more attention. Get it? And in the long run, see, everything I'm doing today will dictate my tomorrow. My future is in my past every day. So is that helpful, you guys? Here's what you need to know. Going forward, you only have to not convert, go for it on the first interview. Going forward, here's what you need to look for. If you're not getting buying signals, don't go there. They know what you're doing. Do they know what you're doing or not? Yes. Okay? So do you think that, and it's funny, I'm not saying it's going to screw you forever, but it's going to elongate the process. If you go into if they're feeling, wow, man, John's cool, and it's like he's my surrogate manager. Oh, well, that sucks. What if they never join? You guys, the big picture. Stop being scarce. It's like how many CMAs do you go on and don't get? Come on, right? Oh, they're stealing my shit. Oh, okay, so now you invented everything. I mean, no. What you've got to do is you're not doing enough of it. Okay? You're going to have people, listen, the person that uses me to just get information from me and never had any attention to join me and knew, that's not my problem, that's theirs. And I may be going kumbaya with you, but I'm just telling you something. No one screws me. It's my expectation of them that screws me. No one screws me. It's my expectation. You know what? I have no expectations. I have an expectation to serve, lead, and inspire people. That's it. That's it. And then going, I'll go a little bit more personal and where my success in my business, me looking at everyone has a different thing of success. I have a real clear relationship with money too. Money is a vehicle for me to have the freedom I want with my family, live at the level that I want to, but extend a message of change to as many people as possible. Simple. See, can you articulate that? When you're that fucking clear on what money means to you and what your purpose is, man, you just flow. And you're not attached to. See, I know going and doing what I'm doing, what's going to happen. A lot of good things. But you can't just keep this, we're all in this, I did something, oh, I didn't get something back. Oh, I did. Now, you need to be responsible investment return, but I'm going to tell you something. If you're putting valuable content in the market in your recruiting, and you're consistent in a nurture program, and you're following up with them, and you're not in your face, you're going to win big. Does that make sense, you guys? Yep. So let me wrap on the recruiting thing. Pick your spots on when you start to go to convert. You'll know, they'll point blank ask you. Here's what typically happens, my experience with experienced agents, because during that nurture thing, you get the call, hey, John, it's time. What? But I always had a huge pipeline, right? It's the greatest. It's like the come list me, right? You did a CMA. Hey, John, remember me? You did a CMA 9 months ago? Yeah. No, fuck, who are they? But that's when you're really out there prospecting a lot and you're nurturing. That's how your recruiting needs to be. Does that make sense, you guys? Hit them once a week with business building tips and value. So again, I do recruiting stuff for a full day or whatever. We've got I want to go about another 20 minutes and then just go Q&A because I got flights and all kinds of stuff. Any questions on the recruiting thing? Did you get the general of it? Does it make sense? Yes.
Why is 50,000 the value you need out of an agent? Not to go back too far, but why is that the number? For 150?
On an annual basis?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. It's not a have to, okay? See you later, brother. It's not a have to. But do you want to get less than that out of an agent on an annual basis? No. See, I've got people get 100 to 150. I went conservative on you. I got people getting 100 and 150, 200 a grand out of agents in a year. And here's the thing: is it greedy? No. They're getting recruited all the time by companies offering them the exact opposite of their current split of 35-65, 35 to the agent. $695 transaction fee. If not collected, the agent pays it, and they're never leaving that team. You want to talk about them margins? How would you like to have your agents on a 35-65 split? You're keeping 65. Anyone here want that one? Yeah, that's across the board. Because when you keep going, you keep bringing people in, you give value, and you operate in these things, you build a freaking machine, a cash flow machine and an asset. But good question. Any other questions on recruiting? Guys good? Let's go into agent productivity then. Agent productivity and training. So, do you think that training an agent will make them more productive? More training? Do you think that's what makes them more productive? Yes or no? You guys are doing pretty good, almost 4 hours into this thing, so I appreciate it. No. So what's going to make them more productive? What's that? Accountability. Okay. So let's define accountability. What is accountability? You want to define it for me? I'm going to give you some framing to help you with this, and you need to frame and define it with your people. Is that we were, like in my house, okay, when I was raised, if you didn't make your bed, you got the shit kicked out of you by a stepdad who was a cop. I'm not a victim. I'm I'm actually the only kid that went back and visited him because no one else likes him. Because that's how I choose to live my life. But the one day a year I didn't make my bed, was I reminded of the 364 days a year I made my bed? Or the one I didn't? Now you need to stay with me. You need to understand we all operate, you know, I say we're in the human behavior. You need to understand our brain is malleable from 3 to 5 years old. Those are tape recordings that play over and over again. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. It is, and they keep coming back. And so we've never been held accountable. We've all been condemned. So there's a thing in the back of our mind that makes us believe that accountability is a bad thing. It takes us back to that place. Okay, so let me have you write down a definition. You've got to educate yourself. You've got to shift yourself, and you need to educate your people on what accountability is. Here's what accountability is. It's observing or noticing without judgment. It's observing or noticing without judgment. These two principles I'm sharing with you, I'm going to share with you accountability and commitment. Okay, observing or noticing without judgment. Okay, commitment, we've talked about it, is specific, measurable, actionable. Specific, measurable, actionable. And it's defined one way and one way only, by the result. Either you did it or you didn't. Here's the problem with goals. And I'm not saying, listen, do they not come out of my mouth and talk about it? But watch this though. Think of unconscious programming. When people talk about goals, how many times, well, I got close. You ever been there? They got close, shooting for my goal. I can't grow unless there's a measurement. Okay? I'm going to give you guys the most epic, and this is what I did. If I were to tell you the secret, they do it. I'll tell you the secret of what we did from taking a team in Edmonton, oil country, that had just wound out and lost people, so the momentum wasn't in our favor, that did $288 million in 2017, and we're at $311 million 6 months through the year. That was through June 15. Okay? In a market down 20%, documented. He'll be in the room he'll tell you, he'll be in the room, and now he's bringing 4 of his staff members, leaders in. He'll tell the story. He was going to throw in the towel. So upset. 16 of your 20 people leaving, okay? In December, we sat down and we did these things that I'm going to share with you, exactly as I'm going to share with you. So here's what you need to do. They're called self-directed work groups. They're accountability groups. So the number one thing I need you guys to do is I need you to go back to your group, and you need to, number one, in a sales meeting, you need to tell everyone to Google while they're sitting here. Let's do the exercise right now because I want you to have the experience. Pull your cell phone out. So I'm going to role play it for you right now, because this is what we're going to do right now is exactly what I've done in Lindahl's team. They did 150 sales in July with 40 agents. Show me a team that did that anywhere. That per person productivity, nowhere. In Gary Ashton's team, number 1 RE/MAX team in the world year to date. In Justin's team, in Chris Waters' team in Texas, and we just rolled it out for another team. I'm going to share with you the framework of how you roll it out to your team or your company, okay? So let's play it. You guys are the agents. Number 1, I need you guys to Google Reggie Miller scores 8 points in 9 seconds. Start playing the video. Start playing the video.
9 points in 8 seconds.
That's why I stay single. Women always correct me. Yep, let it go. Loud, let it go. So you want to create the room, have them turn it up, create an energy in your room, right?
Dude, honestly, it was classic, man. I remember that.
So who wasn't familiar? Raise your hand if you weren't familiar with this before this. Okay. One person. So here's what I'm going to do. We're most familiar. So go ahead and turn it off. You let them do it, okay? Turn it off. Let's go. So they've watched it, right? To get people to do something, you need to frame them in. Can you tell people, hey, let's be held accountable because it's cool. And let's make, can you do that? You can do it, but okay, you're the boss. That's top down. So here's what I'm doing. I'm framing people into embracing, making commitments and accountability. So now role play with me. So you guys, you saw Reggie Miller score those points. Now watch this. Was it 9 points in 8 seconds? Is that what it was, you guys? 8 points in 9 seconds. So let's round it up. This is leadership. This is taking you through how to facilitate this. To be a leader, you got to demonstrate. 8 points, was it 9 and 8? 8 points in 9 seconds. Okay, so let's do a little bit of math here. Let's round it up and say it was 10 seconds. There's 60 seconds in a minute, right? So that means we can multiply that times this. So Reggie Miller's scoring 48 points a minute, isn't he? Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Okay, good. So 48 minutes in a game, okay? How many points? 2,304. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay with me right now, okay? What happened? Did Reggie have a deadline? Yes. Did Reggie have a deadline?
Yes.
And you need to do what I'm doing too, and don't let shitty responses, yes, yes. Be a freaking leader. Yes, peep. What the okay. Holy shit. Did Reggie have a deadline?
Yes.
Did he have a commitment?
Yes.
Was it publicly declared?
Yes.
Yes, right. Was he going to be measured?
Yes.
Did it cause him to change his behavior?
Yes.
And what happened when he changed his behavior?
History.
History. So let me ask you this. Raise your hand if you want to grow your business. Okay? If you made publicly declared commitments and you had a deadline and we checked in, what do you think we could do for the likelihood of you growing your business? Do you think that could happen? Yes or no?
Yes.
Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. It's my responsibility as a leader to constantly see how I framed you guys into it. Because behavior change. When we get to the end, okay, when there's a deadline, we'll take risks. See, that's the problem with the business plan. A business plan's a piece of shit, really. Now, I mean, listen, I'm going to go do a business plan for a company, but it's context. Stay with me. Because you know what we do with the business plan? Wow, I did my business plan. Okay, cool. Here's my business plan. Look at it, look at it. Never look at it again. Another stupid ass exercise.
Yes.
Write this down. Write this down. Ready? Here's. So I'm going to help you guys too in moving people to productivity. Guess what? You're being told so many, like, you need a big why. My business sucks. You need a bigger why. Are you kidding me? It's so ridiculous. The number one reason people don't take action is how come? Overwhelm. So let's give them a bigger why. That's stupid. But see, it's a narrative. You know, the people that sell that have written more books than me. They make more money than me because they sell you shit. They're not in the business of making you productive. They're in the business of selling you shit. It's proven overwhelm shuts people down, right or wrong. Yeah, but let's get a bigger why. That's freaking ridiculous. No, your big ass why, your big commitment, your big goal, whatever you want to call it, write this down, is built on the back of micro commitments. The big ass, whatever you want, is built on the back of micro commitments. Because then what happens is when I have a micro commitment and I keep it, something small that's just a little bit bigger than I did last time, I get a victory. Write it down. And when I get a victory, I build my confidence. Write it down. And when I get a victory and build my confidence, I get the most important thing I need: momentum. See, your agents don't need more training on how to sell more real estate. They need to figure out why the freak they don't do what they want to do, need to do, should do, know how to do. Just like you on the one video, just like me on the things I don't do. I don't stand up here because I'm exempt. I stand up here actually because I need it as much as anyone else. I need coaches. I need to be held accountable. Okay? We're all on this journey together. But you and I and all of us in this room, you know, at the level you're at, you've had to have some accountability somewhere. And if you haven't yet, you're going to need to step through that doorway. Or you're going to say, I'm just sorry. You need a third-party observer. We all need that. Okay? But what we've got to do is move to the truth with people. So like it's like when someone's not doing well that you're leading, oh, well, you need to make it bigger. You need to this. Bullshit. Let's get you a win. Let's get you a win. What's the one area you need to focus on? Well, I need to do this. Well, it's not working. So you know what? We want to get there. I want you to feel good. Because when I don't feel good, I'm going to hide too, and I'm not going to show up. You see what I'm doing? I want to fit socially first. So it's about being built on the back of micro commitments, and something big happens. Okay? Does that make sense, you guys? Break it down, man. When I'm not getting where I need to go, break this down, man. I'm just what's one thing, man? I need a victory. Because I'm pretty inspired and excited about life. And so I just want to do a lot of things, go here and do this. And then you got to just one thing. Just, slow it back down. And we need to do that. But you need to do that for your people too, okay? So what we're going to do going forward is this. We're going to start meeting once a week in what we call self-directed work groups. We're going to meet once a week for 1 hour. There will be no training in the room. You're going to make 3 specific, measurable, actionable commitments. You're going to declare them to the group. We'll go around the room each week. You're going to declare them in the room. And if they're not specific, measurable, like I want to make more calls, is that specific, measurable, actionable? No. Okay? Here's the other thing I need you to know, and this is educating people on commitment, okay? So if you're going to the gym 5 days a week and your commitment's going to be 5 days a week, is that a commitment? No. Watch this, because I didn't educate you guys on that one. Ready? So a commitment, you guys, too, is a stretch. Because remember, we want to grow our business, right? So can my body change if I keep doing the same exact thing at the gym? No. Okay? So here's the other thing when people are, and don't give them the commitment. Here's the mistake, don't fall in the trap. When you're giving people the commitment, if they sandbag on you, I'm going to make 5 calls a day. And you're like, dude, you got to make 10. Or you're not going to make it. You lost. 5. Okay, so let me ask you this. Based on where you want your business to go, will 5 get you where you need to be? It's that, but us, we know the answer, so we just want to get it. We want to go quick because we're efficient. Well, that's not leadership. That's dictatorship. And that doesn't keep your people or drive them into productivity. Are you guys with me on that one? Yeah. See the difference? You've got to just take that time. You've got to ask the question, okay? So, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. Now, if I told you guys, I mean, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. Does that look like a commitment to you guys, for me? No. Dude, you should back it down. You're going to, whatever. I mean, okay? So, but if someone, but here's what you do is you start crafting this thing, because here's what you're going to find out with your people, how vague they are. It's going to blow your mind. You go, holy shit. They talk in generalities. And that alone, that's what one of my most recent team of 30 people came and go, and it's funny because they were KPI killers and huddle every day. And I says, dude, you're killing your people. Back it down. Yeah, but we need to measure. Gets in the first thing, he goes, holy shit. I go, what? He goes, my people are vague. I says, oh, really? Yeah, because they were numb. They were freaking numb. You were huddling them every morning. You were meeting them to death, KPIing them at the end of the day. Just this grind. And they were numb. They were just throwing shit out there to get you out of their face. And that's where that connection with people is, right? So you're going to make 3 specific, measurable, actionable commitments. And so I'll see you next Tuesday at 9 a.m. We'll go for 6 weeks. And then here's what's really cool. Now you want to have leverage. And so you can just start funneling people in. So watch this. And then at the end of the meeting, after you've made your declaration, I'm going to pair you up with an accountability partner, a new one each week. And what you're going to do is you're going to check in with each other every day. See how I'm now creating a culture too. I'm crossing people over. See, because if I give you 2, I'm just going to be brutal. Or any 2 that are here together, if I keep you 2 as accountability partners, you've got too much intimacy with each other. You're going to create an agreement system. I need to make you uncomfortable. Someone's going to call your shit and call your shit. Okay? But yet come to recognize that other people are here to support you. See what that does? So now here's what happens. I had an office of 100 agents in 1998. How the hell am I going to do this? and I want to make a profit. First thing I said to the owners, get rid of the 2 assistant managers. I manage people in groups. They're great people, move them over to another office. You don't need to fire them. Next thing I did is this. The bottom third had 25 people in a group, the middle to core people, 25 people, and the top producers. Now, you're going to need to do this every week, but in a big organization, so the bottom to strugglers, they met with me once a week for 1 hour in a group, 25 people, okay? The middle to core, twice a month. See, the more productive someone is, the least amount of deadlines they need. Does that make sense? See, the more deadlines you have, watch this. This is a scenario to paint for you. Watch this. So I've got 30 days. Boom, 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 boom. Of the 30 days, which 3 days are going to be the most productive? Last 3. Okay? So now, how do I get, watch this. So I got 3 productive days, but I've got a non-productive person. What do? I just make more deadlines. So I get another 3-day period and another one. And guess what? This is how you get people productive. You just chop it down. Because ultimately what happens, they opt in or opt the fuck out. I never fired anyone. I've got someone right now that I'm coaching for a large team. And I always am respectful, but they give me the latitude. I says, you know what time it is? Yep, hammer time. So it goes like this. So here's the deal. Love you, you're great. So I'll coach the team leader and I'll coach their sales manager or recruiter. So tomorrow, the call's going to go like this. So you're awesome, you're great, and I want to support you and find out if you're really committed. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to make your calls every day because there is a point where you do have to tell people. You got to help them make a decision they're not making, right? And you squeeze. They get to opt in or opt out. So what you're going to do is at the end of every day, you're going to tell me how many people you called, what their name is, okay, and how many appointments you set. And if you don't hit X, then we know you're not committed. Or if you don't respond to me, we know you're not committed. So you'll opt in or opt out. So we're going to do that for the next 7 days. I never fired people. Don't have to. So here's what I do. I start the relationship like this, but you don't perform. You don't perform. You don't perform. You don't perform. Kick ass. Give 2 shits. It's like my mentor said to me of 100 office companies, he says, John, I want people. And he says, I don't give 2 shits if you stand out there butt ass naked in a wooden wood board that hides your privates, but you're naked out there saying, join the company, man. I don't care. I don't care where you're at, what you're doing. I just care you get a result. So, and that's what's really cool with these type of people. So it's just like this. Sometimes they opt in or opt out, right? You just check in, check in, check in. Let me give you this piece and then we'll just open up for questions. So, and I give, again, you can go to, I've got a bunch of blogs and video stuff that you can look up where a bunch of this content is. They make their specific measure of actionable commitments. Guess what you do during the week? Everyone in your organization has 3 commitments. So at any point in time, guess what I can do? Watch this. Ready? Hey, Steve, how's your partner? Well, see, how's your partner doing on their commitments? What's Steve going to answer first, do you think? His commitments. Well, let me tell you what I'm doing. Or I didn't check in with them. See, I've got context now. I got context. You know all the got a minutes? Got a minute? You feel like your name got a minute? Got a minute? They'll go down dramatically. Hey, by the way, how are you doing on your commitments this week? See, your problem is your capacity's capped because you have singular accountability, not mutual accountability with your people. When I have people walking around with commitments, I have mutual accountability. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so I'm going to give you this. So now it's time to come check in. You come back into the room. So who wants to be held accountable? Someone raises their hand. It's the 7 steps of accountability, and here they are. And this is by science, and don't deviate from them. And you stay remedial. Did you have a commitment? Did you keep it? If they did, great, congratulations, move on. But I'm going to take you through the person that doesn't. Did you have a commitment? Did you keep it? What got in the way? In the realm of all that's possible, could you have kept it? Ready for the kicker? What did you learn about yourself by not keeping your commitment? Have you heard me use the word why yet? Oh, no, you haven't, because why is the word of judgment, and why is the word that shuts people down, and why will stop people from going to self-discovery and owning shit. Did you have, did you keep? What got in the way? In the realms of the possible, could you have kept it? What do you learn about yourself by not keeping your commitment? Do you want to recommit? Acknowledge them for what they did do. I'm detached emotionally from the process. Excuse me, from the outcome. I'm attached to the process. The process will move them. Do you think someone wants to keep coming back and going through, and I'm never going to move from it? It's the 7 steps. Do you think someone wants to keep coming back, not keeping their commitments in front of their peers? Do you think they want to? Yes or no? No. So you know what's really cool? Then the science of the thing kicks over, because you know what? The person that'll call in and it's so beautiful. It uncovers so much shit. Hey, my kids are sick this morning. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. And then a couple days later, though, you just, you don't want to feel like you're doubting their kid's sick. You say, hey, how were you doing on your commitment? Oh, I didn't hit him last. Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. So you're full of shit. Your kids weren't sick. But you see what I'm saying? I'm never doubting. Life happens. I mean, I've got she's not sick, but she is. She's crazy. But I mean, I've got a kid that's had 24 heart surgeries, and likes to drink big ass beers, and so her situation's real. But the point that I'm making is the cool thing is when people start showing up late or they no show, it tells you everything, man. It's the beauty of this thing. They don't want to show. Listen, if I kicked ass on my commitments that I made in front of 12 people, do I want to come back to the meeting? All of you do. And if I didn't, you'll see body language. It's the coolest thing on the planet. And all you do is this. 7 steps of accountability. They make commitments. Their picture, not yours. And that's how you're able to grow things. That's all I got, except for answers to any questions. Sorry to rapid fire you guys, but hey, I just want to give you guys all I can from what's working right now, too. It's stuff that a lot of it's withstood the test of time. A lot of it we're evolving, but all of it's inside organizations that are doing big things right now. So any questions that I can answer for you guys at this point?
I'll throw a question.
Shocked.
I mean, this is a group of top performers.
Yes, sir.
And I am a smaller business.
What's a smaller business? What is it? How much you do?
I'm year to date 7 million personal and teams around 11.
That's not, dude. That's not small.
Well, that's my perception.
Sure.
All right. So and so when we look at our team, which is essentially the two of us,
Yeah.
and how do we look at where we're going? I get caught up in, oh my gosh, I don't want to recruit. I'm not going to make a phone call because my systems and my things, I don't see the value proposition of what it is I'm doing. But I know that's intellectually, I get that's
It's normal.
okay.
So what you're doing, and I get it. Who here? Let's. I mean, this is where the growth thing is. And again, I get caught in my thing. I want to give you guys value. Who's sitting here right now in the back of their mind thinking, "Fuck, I need to get this one thing right, or I need to have a little bit more of that before I recruit people"? Raise your hand. Every fucking one. And so thank you for bringing that forward, because guess what? So 47 people I coach, 7 are broker owner managers, the other 40 are teams. Okay, all levels. I have to break every one of them through that. But you know how we break through? And thank you, because you just helped me bring you through this and this one. You can hire people to anything you want to, shit or bad, as long as you're truthful and you're a good person they connect with. Let me help you how. Or let me help you do that. I think this will, and if I didn't answer it, let's stay here, because you've been gracious and I appreciate you answering the questions, because it serves everyone else, okay? So we're getting close to joining, all right? I'm recruiting and you're getting close to joining. We're gonna make those decisions, but I wanna make sure that I don't oversell, you know what I mean? I wanna make sure I'm clear on expectations. So your name?
Sherry.
Sherry. Sherry, let me ask you this. Do you have a family?
Yes.
Does your family have dysfunction?
Yes, we put the fun in dysfunction, yes.
See what I did with humor? I was humorous and truthful, right? Right? But Sherry, are you with them for the long run? Long haul?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guess what?
It's
We're excited. We're excited to have you with us. Join us. We're dysfunctional too. And we're looking for people, though, that are committed to a community just like you are, your family. Are you looking for something that's long-term or short-term?
Long-term.
Awesome, good. See, I just laid an egg, too, for later, on. You see what I did there, you guys? So thank you for bringing that up. I mean, because I'm trying to get this stuff in there. Wow, how many other people in the interview that they were recruiting said that they were dysfunctional to them? How many other companies told them they're dysfunctional? None. No way.
I'm amazing.
Shocked. You are? Fuck, everyone else is telling me they're terrible. Yeah, right? But you guys, this is how I won. Because I'd watch them go, what the So I want to bring this back full circle. This is an epidemic. And you guys have said it too. What you need to know is listen, we are constantly evolving. The most important thing is whether it's today, and I'll even go this far. Again, recruiting, get to sit here, I can do a full day on recruiting with you guys. But here's what I want to do here's what I want you to do over time, and maybe a week, maybe a month. You need to be able to look in the whites of my eyes no matter what's going on around us and know that I can support you to grow your business. And the last thing I expect is a productive agent like you in one meeting to think that, okay? So we're gonna sit down. Who's owning this interview meeting right now? I mean, I'm acting like your leader now. Like now, okay? I need to find out the one area of your business that you need support and growth, that you feel that you can grow and you haven't taken advantage of. What is that? What are you doing? What do you think you need to do differently? Awesome. So here's some action steps to take. Is there anything else I can do to support you? Awesome. Well, I committed to 30 minutes. I got to go. Wait, that fucker didn't try and recruit me? And he just asked me more questions about my business that, you see what I'm doing? So it's an epidemic. And when you get to the next level, you'll think it's not good enough again. Right. Well, we did 150 transactions. We don't have, so it's like, I went back to Justin, we just hit 90. We hit this 90 number, just this big cool number. I says, you're going back and you're telling everyone we get 90, and how are we getting to 100 as the minimum standard, huh? I go, yeah, that's our minimum standard. And this guy, he's brilliant and a great guy, but he's going, well, we just got here. I go, fuck that. They're with us. We haven't lost. So you know what I looked at? We haven't lost anyone since November, December that was productive. The culture's good. They're in. So you grab people along. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? It's never going to be right. But if you treat people right and you're upfront with them and you connect with them and you transfer skills to them, they'll go through anything with you. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Because otherwise, guess what you're going to do? Get ready and go nowhere. Okay? Thank you. Other questions? Quiet, huh? Yeah, you guys have been wonderful though. It's been 4 hours in here. That's a long time.
Do you have a place that you recommend us to kind of figure out, going back to video, just sort of ideas for videos?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will give you right now a guy who's absolutely slaying it. He does exactly what I tell him to do. Just go study his page. Crush it in real estate business page. Just copy what he's doing. Crush it in real estate is the name of the business page. Crush it in real estate, the business page. Notice it's not his company name. You know that's not a real estate company name, right? Because he doesn't want it to have that feel. It's pure business tips. And then also when you watch his videos, tell me how many of them have a call to action and say join us. But tell me by watching it, you know that that's what he's doing. If you study that business page, you've seen it, Rich, you've seen the stuff.
Oh, he's good.
He's slaying it. He's slaying it. Now here's the other part, ready? So he does all these videos in classroom and training. You'll see the guy's competent. But guess which ones outperform everyone? That's when I told him at 5 a.m. tomorrow in your basement, your cap on, after you got the treadmill sitting there, do a video. Blows up. Now I want you to do one with your 3 boys at your feet in the kitchen where the house is crazy. Blows up. Okay? People want real. So that's where I go with that. Okay? And again, it's you don't do the double, triple close. If you want to sit in the room with these people and hear them present, come to Vegas for my mastermind. September 27, 28. The badasses are there. Yes?
What's your feel on live? What's your feel on live video as opposed to pre-recorded video?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's a problem for you. Just do it. Don't think about it. the algorithm rewards you, Facebook rewards you 10x for live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. But just here's the thing though, start it over on your business page. What you need to do is start it over on your business page, but have someone share it immediately over to your personal page, because that will help you pull people over.
Someone other than.
Well, I mean, you can do it yourself
Yeah,
too.
admin do it.
Yeah, just have someone trigger that way, because that's a way to strategically start pulling people over. But here's the other part too, is then when you go back on your business page, this is where the home run is, okay? So you want to do it, and even if no one watches it, who gives a shit? You know, because typically you're going live. A lot of us don't have, is anyone here that has a ton of people on your business page as fans? No. I mean, I've got 35,000, 36,000, but I'm an author and all that shit, right? But with you, here's what you need to do though, is don't worry about it. Go live, start going live, because Facebook will see that, and then boost it. Pay for the boost. And here's the other part too. Once it goes live and you post it, then go edit and write the long copy of it too. See what I mean? Put a good title that's going to get someone's attention so people notice it. So I want you to go live. It's the best way. I want you to go live. I want you to have attention-getting headline. If you want to write a couple bullet points, that's good too. I need you to share it over to your personal page, right? Then once it posts, I need you to boost it.
Boost, then share, or share, then boost?
I mean, in that case, I want you to share it right when you go live, okay? Because we need to pull people over. Yeah. But then what I want you to do is once it posts up to your business page, right? I need you to go in, write out the long copy, so you get the long copy done, and then boost it, okay? And it will continue to reward you because it's alive, because it will show up that way through. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, you bet.
The other thing too that you can do that we've been doing on our stuff is that after you get something that's had a lot of traffic, go back and repost or recomment inside that, and it brings back everybody else that's engaged.
Well, I know once it comment is done, re-engaging gets you real.
And here's what he's doing, and here's what he's sharing, not to steal his thunder, but I want to really drill this down because it's such a big deal. You guys, go through and only like half the comments at about 4 p.m. Leave yourself even one open. Watch this. You cannot, and this is where he was going, and where he's personally going. You can leave like one comment you don't reply to, like if there's one tonight and you get it tomorrow morning, and reply tomorrow morning, it's right back in the feed.
Yeah. Well, the one I was talking about was 8 months ago. I did my live with my homeless people on, and I went back and reposted the after photos 8 months later on a video that had been viewed 15,000 times, and reposted to just go back and
Home run.
tell the story.
Re-engage and comments.
Yeah.
I like it.
That is it.
Thanks, dude.